Alright guys, another day, try to get this thing fired up. Tuesday night's not going to happen. I found out some problems here. It looks as if you look right here, you can see there's separation. It looks like down here by the regulator, where I mount my regulator down here in the bottom. I don't know if it's getting heat to it or what's going on, but the hose is starting to separate. So, being that the hose is separating, I really don't want to take no chances at the drag strip like that. I didn't notice it before, but I am going to go ahead and hook all this stuff up. We're going to fire it up today. Go ahead and get the radiator filled up, get the water circulating through it, make sure there's no leaks, make sure that the crossover delete kit and all that stuff does its job. We'll let it sit here and idle until it opens up the thermostat, or until it seems like it's going to settle on a temperature, and then we'll go from there. I've still got to make a EGR delete. I'll probably order one, but I'm gonna go ahead and make one for now just to cover up the hole and seal it off, because I don't use EGR. And then all I gotta do is put the radiator hoses on the bottom, and we're ready to fire this thing up. We'll get in there and get on the old Haltech ECU, or get in there in the old Haltech ECU and put in our injector data. And I'll probably go ahead and take the IEC and crank it back a little bit to where it's not open, because I've been hearing people having issues with these Gen 5s where they're getting a high idle. So I'm going to take the IEC and the Haltech ECU and just kind of turn it off for now. Basically what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. Let me get this all stuff put on and we'll fire this bitch up. Just like that, we made us a dang EGR delete. Cut it out right there. I'm gonna go over here and smooth it out with the flap disc on the grinder. As you can see, sometimes you just gotta make stuff, guys. No matter what, if it works, it works. Okay guys, we're to that point. I gotta run to town real quick. I've gotta get a gasket for the IEC side over here, and then I gotta get a gasket for my EGR delete, because I don't have either one of those items. Everything else is tightened up, ready to go. The battery is in the back charging up. That's another thing I gotta change back here now that I'm thinking about the battery. But the battery is charging up. I still gotta do some relay changing on the Magna fuel they call for dual relay setup, so I'm going to go ahead and wire the other relay in with that just to cover my ass, because that's one thing that they said maybe caused my fuel problem, and we'll try that. And then I got to try a 25 micron fuel filter, but we'll save that for another day. Right now everything is ready to rock and roll. All the fittings are tight and everything. Like I said, I got to run to town real quick, and when I get back we'll get onto the laptop and put the injector data in, see if it'll fire up. I'm getting ready to key on the ignition, and then I'm going to get in there and I'm going to come back out and kind of see if there's any leaks, hearing leaks on the fuel system before I get crazy. And I also got the intercooler tank filled back up, the ice tank's filled back up, so we'll let the intercooler circulate and check the water and all that crap. So here we go. check and see what we got going on here. I definitely smell some E85 already. Huh. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, number 3, as you seen yesterday, you heard the fuel injection system leaking. It was the fuel pressure sensor from the factory right here. The O-rings have went bad in it, I guess, from sitting, and I changed those out, and that took care of that problem. Essentially, I thought every injector was leaking, but it was not. It was just this. I could not catch it quick enough because I had to key the car on, and by the time I walked around and went out here and looked at it, it was already off, so I couldn't really tell very well exactly what was leaking. And something else I don't like about these injectors. These injectors, you know, I'm not knocking nobody, but they have a hat on the top and the bottom. And what I'm noticing, at least in my setup, if you look, I'm gonna get a good view of one possibly. Right there. You see the top hat extension right there, and there's one on the bottom right there. What I'm noticing on this is that these things are extremely picky. They're extremely picky on the L3 Cobras because of the way that the angle is on the fuel rails going into the injector bosses on the intake manifold. And they kind of kick sideways and stuff, and you got to watch what you're doing because they'll just leak right past the injectors. And I don't really care much for that because I don't know if they'll move while I'm driving the car or at the drag strip or whatever, but I had to physically come out here and move them around a little bit to get them to seat right. And hopefully they'll stay that way. They quit leaking except for one. I'm gonna take that one off and we're gonna put a new O-ring on it. But I don't really care much for that. And they don't have the clips to hold the top hat on the injector body to keep it straight. And that kind of throws me off too. So just be warned on something like that. I know a lot of people probably run these injectors, and I have never heard of a bad thing about them, but I also don't know anybody running them on a Cobra, so there you go. I just thought I'd inform you. But right now I got the computer up here. I'm getting ready to do some work with it. As you see, I got the old Haltech ECU fired up, ready to go. All right, guys, we got the Haltech ECU booted up. As you see over here to the side on the drop-down menu, I'm in the injection system, stage 1, and at the dead time. As you see, we got voltage going across the top. Well, those voltage numbers are going to match up with this 43.5 pound, or 43.5 PSI numbers on the FIC sheet. As you see, we got 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, just like we do over here on the ECU. So we're going to enter all these numbers in those columns onto the Haltech ECU, and then we'll be ready to go. The reason why I'm at 43.5 PSI is that's where my base pressure is at. All right, guys, I gotta throw this in real quick. The car's obviously already started. I'm in the house getting ready to edit this video, and I forgot something very important. In the injector data, we need to go into the Haltech ECU and go down to flow, and then enter in 1650 cc to match the injectors that we're using. So now the computer now knows that we have 1650 cc injectors. And now that we got the dead time in this installed, that means we shouldn't have to make any changes whatsoever to the base map, which is this right here. We shouldn't have to make any changes to this at all. This, by just putting in the correct injector data, the computer should do everything else for us. The moment of truth, here we go. Like that, we're rolling. 96 volt pressure, looking pretty good. Hell yes, we're freaking rolling, boys. Let's go out here and check everything out. everything's okay. I don't see no leaks yet. Fuck yeah. Man, this thing fought me so hard. Oh my God, it fought me so hard. It's awesome. Let's check the oil level real quick. It looks like the oil level, I may got it just a tick high with it running. When it's off, it's perfectly fine, but when it's running, it looks like it might be a little high. I'm gonna double check with that on the instructions. Also, I'm putting a turn spring right there. There was no real good instructions, so I hope it's right. But anyways, guys, she's up and running. She's fired up. She sounds great. I think we got it all rolling. See if you can hear a good sound of it. Guys, well, that's all I got for you. Until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.